so we can get started.
Junebug.
Alrighty, we're gonna have Lawson, Jeff, June, and Jason for our novice class. We're gonna need 21.5 two-wheel buggy out to
Jason
Marshall.
Flat.
That'll be Victor,
Lawson under.
Bruce, Alex, John, Ben, Chuck, and Brad.
Jeff Trop Gruben.
We're going to need 21.5 out to Marshall. Oh, my bad. Short course out to Marshall. My bad. That's going to be Alex, John, Ben, Bruce, and Quentin.
$35.8, $31.7, $21.5.
Yeah, it's a little sticky, yeah.
18.1. $14.1. 17.9. $22.2.
Alrighty, let's get that straightaway closed. Your lineup's going to be Lawson, Jeff, Junebug, and Jason. June, you're in the third position. Junebug, you're in the third position. We got Lawson, Jeff, June, and Jason. We're going to go that way? Alrighty. Alright, drivers ready? Marshall's ready? On the tone in less than 5. Oh, hold on. We got an issue. Oh, computer's going to take a little bit real quick. Sorry, the computer's taking forever right now. Give us 1 sec. This computer is like ancient. Oh, the computer is so slow. I'm gonna blame the computer every day of the week. What is going on? There we go. Alright. Alright, now we should be good. Alright, driver's ready, Marshall's ready, on the tone in less than 5. We're off, and it looks like Jeff takes over that 2 spot. We had a little bit of trouble on the start there. Oh, we got 1 down on the triple. Careful on the triple. There we go. Coming around in front of the driver's stand. We got 2 down in front of the driver's stand. Careful there on the inside on the straightaway. That's going to put Junebug out to the front and off out here early. She's going to try and run. She's got Jeff in the 2. Meanwhile, Jason and Lawson are going at it for that 3 position over that triple, center triple right here in front of the driver's stand. They get it wrong down the straightaway, taking a little bit of a tumble. That's going to put Jason into the 3. Lawson going for the tumble down the straightaway. Meanwhile, Junebug is still trekking out front, trying to run away from Jeff. We're 1 minute in, 4 minutes to go. Watch the straightaway, we're clear. That was Junebug and Lawson getting together there. Meanwhile, that's going to allow Jeff Troffgruben to get closer to Junebug. That's going to be your battle for the lead there. June goes down, Jeff takes the lead, come down the straightaway. He gets and cases that front triple a little bit, but he comes out all right. He's going to take over that top spot. Coming around the front driver stand section there, he cases it again, but he's got a big enough lead to hold on to that first position. Meanwhile, June goes to the inside. Oh, they get together. June waits, and there you go. Jeff's going to take off in the lead again over that center triple. Down the straightaway they go. Watch the straightaway. We are clear. That's Lawson going at it there. Junebug goes down. That's going to let Jeff get a little bit of a gap here. Down the straightaway, Jeff goes in that blue, looks like blue and silver buggy, B7, coming around through that center section. Meanwhile, you've got Junebug in the 2. She's in that team associated B74.2 with that 21.5 turn motor in there, coming down the straightaway. We are halfway through, drivers, halfway through. So far, Jeff is on a 25.03 pace, and Junebug's on a 25.13 pace. We've got Jason in the 3, Lawson's in the 4. Jason's on a 19.511. Lawson's on a 15.5 flat now. They're going at it though, down through the center section there, coming around through the center triple. That's Jason going to put Lawson another lap down. Meanwhile, Jeff has checked out. He's down the straight. He's got about half a track lead in front of Junebug. Coming through the roller here. Meanwhile, Junebug across the line, across that center double, going down to the center section. She takes a little bit of a tumble. She recovers, got a lucky bounce there. We got a minute and 40 seconds left, drivers. A minute and 40 seconds left. We got one down on the straightaway, clear. That's clear. Here comes Junebug down the straightaway, going down into that center triple. Currently, Jeff is on a 25.01 pace. Let's see if we can get that down to a 21 lap pace. Coming down the straightaway here across the line. He's going to lose a little bit of time. They're going to go to 25.06. Gets tangled up with Junebug. That's the battle for the lead, it looks like.
1 minute left.
That's going to be a battle for the lead here late in the stage. We've got 1 minute left. There's Jeff across the line. There's Junebug across the line. They've got a couple of lappers in between them. They get by those guys. Jeff gets into the pipe. Junebug's going to close that gap. She gets into the pipe now. She rolls it. That's going to let Jeff kind of get away. She's got 39 seconds to catch Jeff now. She's about a quarter of a track behind. She rolls it. That's going to let Jeff get even further away. She gets stuck and rolls over the pipe trying to get back over that pipe. That's going to put Jeff even further ahead. We've got 20 seconds left now. Jeff's coming around down the straightaway here across the line. He goes. He's back to a 25.06 pace. We got one down the straightaway, inside on the straightaway. Here comes Junebug. She's going to get caught at the line. That is it, drivers. Junebug, you are done.
Lawson,
you're done. Jeff, you are done. We're waiting on Jason here. Down the straightaway he goes. And Jason is done.
Finished.
So the finish is going to be Jason in the 3 with a 19.513. You've got Junebug in the 2 with a 19.502, and you've got Jeff in taking the first position with a 20.506. Go ahead and set your cars down and come back out to Marshall. Thank you guys for grabbing the blowers.
John Bedwell, Ben Ludlam, Batman, Alex Graham, Brad Kong.
Alrighty, we got 21-5 two-wheel drive buggy out on track. Hold those cars until they're done with the blowers.
Chuck Erickson,
Thank you, Quentin and Ben, for grabbing those blowers. Alright, go ahead and turn some laps.
Victor Wu,
Grip is definitely on the high side today for sure. Watch the straightaway. Clear. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway. Let's get them lined up. So your lineup's going to be Victor Wu on the 1. We've got Bruce on the 2, Alex on the 3, John on the 4, Ben on the 5, Chuck on the 6, and Brad on the 7. Brad, you got it. You got it from the back. You already know. Where are you going, Victor? That's some turn radius on that thing. Alrighty. We've got drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone in less than 5. We got one down in the double there. We got a little bit of a pile up. Ben and Alex are stuck together. Meanwhile, Victor's going to jump out to the early lead down the straightaway. He goes. That's going to put John into the 2 after that mix-up on the first lap. That's going to put Chuck into 3. He's going to chase down those 2, see if he can get around them for the lead position. That's your battle come down the straightaway here. 1, 2, and 3 across the line. Meanwhile, Eric and John get together. Erickson and John get together. That's going to put Erickson into the 2. Down the straightaway. He looks to the inside of Victor. Can't quite make a stick. Looks to the inside again. Doesn't make a stick there. Down in front of the driver's stand. Down the straightaway. Victor goes a little wide. That's going to put Chuck to the lead. They're coming up here on Bruce. Chuck gets stuck on Bruce. That's going to put Victor out to the lead again. That's going to put John into 2. Chuck falls down back to the 3. He's going to make all that ground back up. Meanwhile, John puts the pass on Victor for the lead position. Victor puts the pass back on John, going down to that center section. You're ready to go into the center triple. That's your battle for the lead there. Meanwhile, we got Brad in the 4. He's not too far from Chuck. He's going to come battling through there. And you got Ben behind him. Oh, Brad goes down. That's going to put Ben into the 4 now. Ben goes down. That's going to put Brad closer, but not quite up into that 4 position. Oh, John and Victor get together. That's going to let Chuck to the lead now. Chuck's going to have a little bit of a gap now. He's going to kind of stretch that lead now. John goes down in the center section. That was Chuck rolling over here by the double. That's going to let Victor and Brad join in now. And Ben's right there. That's a 4-car battle. Right now it's for the 2 spot, but we're going to see if we can get back up to Chuck there and make it for the lead position now. Ben goes down. That's going to put him a little bit further behind. Meanwhile, Brad and Victor down the straightaway they go. That is your second and third place car. That's a Traxxas first associated. Victor gets it on. That's going to allow Brad to the inside. He's going to take over that second spot now. Meanwhile, Chuck has started to check out. His gap is growing and growing. You got Chuck in the lead. We're about halfway through, drivers. Chuck in the lead, Brad in the 2, Victor in the 3, John in the 4, Ben in the 5, Alex in the 6, and Bruce in the 7. Meanwhile, your battle for second is getting pretty
Minute
tight.
left.
You've got Brad in the 2, and then you got Victor in that Traxxas and John in his MHOR R, all right there going through that center triple. Brad comes across the line, Victor across the line, John across the line. Victor goes down. That's going to allow John to get closer. John's going to put the pass on him for the 3 spot. Meanwhile, Chuck is checking out. He's in that dark gray and orange team associated B7. Watch the sweeper, inside on the sweeper. Brad goes down. That's going to let John get closer. John's going to take the 2 spot. And that's going to let Victor get even closer. Brad goes down again. That's going to let Victor into the 2 spot, or into the 3 spot now. Watch right here by the doubles.
1 minute left.
We got 1 minute left, drivers, 1 minute left. Right now, Chuck's on a 23.501 pace. John's on a 22.506 pace, but he goes down. That's going to let Victor and Brad by, but Victor goes down. Brad kind of wheel taps with Victor, but Victor's going to hold on to that 2 spot. Just kidding, Brad takes it back. Just kidding, Victor takes it back. Down the straightaway into the sweeper, Brad gets into the back of Victor. He tries to look to the outside, looks to the inside. Doesn't quite make a stick. He does the right thing there and waits for Victor to go by. Meanwhile, with them battling, that's putting John back to the 2. So this is a battle. Brad down the straightaway goes for a little bit of a tumble. That's going to put John into the 2, Victor into the 3 now. With 10 seconds left, drivers, 10 seconds left. Watch the straightaway, clear on the straightaway. Watch the sweeper, clear on the sweeper. Inside on the sweeper. And that'll be it, drivers. Once you hear your name, you are done.
John Bedwell done.
John is done.
Alex Graham done.
Alex is done. Victor is done. Chuck, you are done. Couple more to finish.
Batman done.
Bruce is done, and Brad, you are now done.
Finished. Brad Kong done.
Alrighty, so at the end of that one, taking home the 3rd position is going to be Victor with a 22.509. In the 2nd position is John Bedwell with a 22.507. And Chuck Erickson takes that one with 2 laps up with a 24.514. Thank you guys for grabbing them blowers. Up next is going to be 17.5 two-wheel drive buggy. That's going to be Gary Weaver, Steve Foley, Joe St. Peter, Quentin Bristol, Kendra Knowles, and Ben Cropper.
Quentin Bristol. Joe St. Peter. Gary Weaver. Ben Cropper. Kendra Knowles.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and turn some laps, get some practice laps in. We got one broken the sweeper, inside on the sweeper. Watch the sweeper.
Steve Foley. Leonard Munoz.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and close that straightaway. Let's get them lined up. You're going to have Gary Weaver on the 1, Steve Foley on the 2, Joe St. Peter on the 3, Quinton on the 4, Kendra Knowles on the 5, Ben Cropper on the 6, and Leonard on the 7. We got a racer's minute. Got it. I'm gonna start the timer for you, Ben. Just kidding. Yeah, he ripped the outside tire off on the sweeper. He's right there. He's putting a new battery in a different car. You don't want him to make it, Gary, huh? Yeah? He'll be all right. He's already pretty rattled because he broke his car on practice laps. Oh, we got the blue car now. It did not. The transponder? No, it's plugged in right. Try that. There we go. You're good now, Ben. Alrighty, Ben, you're on the 6 position. We're going to start in the back. All right, Leonard, you can move up to the 6 then. Alrighty. We've got drivers. We've got marshals on the tone in less than 5. Let's keep this first lap nice and clean. Keep this first lap nice and clean. So far, so good. Meanwhile, that is Steve looking into the inside of Gary. Gary gets the triple on. That's going to let Steve up to the 1 position. Meanwhile, we've got a yard sale in front of the driver's stand. That's going to shift everything up. That's going to put Kendra to the 2 and Quentin to the 3. Steve's kind of stretched his way out. Let's see if he can continue to do that, grow that lead, but let's also see if Kendra and Clinton can bring him in closer to shorten that gap a little bit. Meanwhile, you got Joe St. Peter in the 4, Leonard's in the 5 now. Make that the 4 now. Leonard's up to the 4, going through that center triple. He's going to come up on Quinton here. That's going to be the battle for the 3 position here in a little bit. Meanwhile, Foley down the straightaway across the line. He's currently running a 27-lap pace with 1 minute in. Ben's down, Joe's down. Steve Foley's in that blue, orange, and white machine there. It looks like he just put a lap down on Quinton. Quinton's in your 4 position. Leonard up to the 3 now. Kendra's still holding on to that 2 position, but she's got Leonard coming up on her quick now. Watch the straightaway, outside on the straightaway, outside on the straightaway. We got Steve in the 1, Kendra's in the 2, Kendra's down the straightaway across the line. Quentin went for the level, watch the sweeper, inside on the sweeper, inside on the sweeper. Inside on the sweeper, we are clear. Meanwhile, Kendra and Leonard are going at it for that 2 position now. They're about half a track, maybe 2/3 track behind Steve. Steve's got a pretty comfortable lead, running a 10-7 lap time there on lap 4. Leonard goes down. That's going to let Kendra watch the straightaway. Clear. Leonard went down. That's going to let Kendra get a little bit further of a gap between them now. Meanwhile, that's Gary behind Leonard, though. He's a lap down to Leonard, but Gary is now in your 4 position. Your closest battle on track is going to be Quentin and Ben. That are going through the center section, getting ready to come up on Kendra. Over that center triple, down the straightaway they go. Quentin gets a little bit long, but so does Ben. That's going to keep him about the same spot. Ben goes a little wide for Steve there. It's going to let Steve by. That's going to let Quentin to the 5 position now. Watch the sweeper, inside on the sweeper, inside on the sweeper. Steve is on the back of Kendra, going to put a lap on the field. Going through that center section they go. Steve is on a rocket of a round. Kendra lets him by. That's going to put a lap on the entire field. Steve now has a lap on the entire field. He's on a 27.504 pace now. He's getting closer to that 28, and make that a 27.503 pace. He's got a minute left to get to that 28 lap pace. Let's see if he can do it. Meanwhile, Kendra's still in the 2, running a 26.510. Leonard's in the 3, running a 25.508. Gary's in the 4, Ben in the 5, Quentin in the 6, and Joe in the 7. Your closest battle is still Ben and Quentin. They're going through that center section. Watch the straightaway, Clear on the straightaway. Ben and Quentin are still going at it for that 5 position. That's the closest battle on track now. They're coming down the straightaway. Ben has that 5 position. Quentin wants it. They got 20 seconds left. Down past in front of the line here. You got Ben and Quentin going down into that center section. Quentin has closed that gap just a little bit. Ben gets it wrong. That's going to put Quentin up to the 5 with 2 seconds left. That's going to let Ben get caught at the line. Quentin, you made it. You're going to go for that extra lap there. Watch the straightaway, inside on the straightaway. Inside on that straightaway.
Kendra Nall's done. Gary Weaver done.
And that is everyone done.
Still done.
That's going to put Leonard in the 3 with the 25.503. Kendra in the 2 with the 26.508, and Steve's going to take that one with the 27.503. That's going to put a pretty hard TQ time to beat for round 2. He had a fast lap of a 10.7. All right, don't forget to grab those blowers. That's going to put race 4 out to Marshall. That's going to be 17.5 forward ride buggy. We do have a couple of back-to-back drivers, so we're going to give them a little bit of time here with what's going to be Gary and Kendra. Yeah. Hold those cars until they're done with the blowers, please. Hold those cars until they're done with the blowers.
Batman. Ben Ludlam. John
Alrighty,
Benwell.
go ahead and turn those laps,
Gary
some
Weaver.
practice laps now.
Brad Kong. Thomas Ball.
Ben, are you trying to get it out of the way
Ron
now?
Knowles.
Yeah, that's good. Watch the straightaway. Clear down the straightaway. Alright, one more lap, and then we'll get them lined up. That was sweet. That was pretty sweet. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway. Your lineup's going to be Kendra Knowles on the 1, Thomas Ball on the 2, Bruce on the 3, Gary Weaver on the 4, Ben Ludlam on the 5, John Bedwell on the 6, and Brad Kong on the 7. Alrighty. Drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone in less than 5. And we're off. Let's keep this first lap nice and clean. Let's keep this first lap, yeah, we're going to scratch that. Meanwhile, that's going to put Kendra out to the AE with Thomas right behind her. Meanwhile, we're still having a crash fest back here in the back of the field. Ben's going to get out to that 3 position. He's going to roll it over. He's going to drop down 2 positions there. Kendra goes down. That's going to let Thomas out to the lead now. Gary to the 3. Brad now to the 4. Ben to the 5. John to the 6. And Bruce to the 7. Remember, this one's still early. We're about 40 seconds in. Meanwhile, Thomas is still out in the lead. He's down the straightaway now, coming here across the line through that center double. Down through that center section. He's going to come up on some lap traffic now. That's going to be John. Thomas is in that green and orange buggy right there across the line. He made a little bit of a mistake. That's going to let Kendra get closer. Kendra's going to go past him as he tumbles into the wall. That's going to be Kendra the lead. Meanwhile, Thomas goes down again. That's going to put Ben to the 2 now. Ben across the line now. He's in the 2 position. Kendra's out on the lead. He goes a little bit of gap. Ben goes down. That's going to let Thomas back to the 2. And you got Brad in the 4 now. He's not too far from Ben as well. So that's going to be shaping up for a good battle. But he's got Gary hot on his tail. But it looks like Gary and Brad are racing for position. That's for that 4 spot. But Gary goes down. Meanwhile, Brad is starting to close Ben. Thank you guys for letting the leader by you. Kendra is your leader in that pink, green, white, and blue buggy. That's that CR22-4. Still kicking. We're about 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in, drivers? Or 2 minutes in? 3 minutes to go. Watch the straightaway. Inside on the straightaway. All right, I'll get you, Gary. Meanwhile, Kendra's still out front with Thomas in the 2. Kendra has a lap on the field now. She's on a 25.506 pace. Meanwhile, Thomas Ball is still holding on to that 2 position. He's running a 23.507. Brad now up to the 3. He's running a 23.513 now. He gets around Thomas because Thomas puts it into the pipe after that center triple. So Brad Kong now to the 2 position. Thomas drops down to the 3 now. Ben's going to be in that 4 position now. He had a long lap. That's going to put him a little bit further behind Thomas. He's got some work to do, but Thomas working through that center section now. He's trying to get back up to Brad. Meanwhile, Brad down the straightaway in that pink and white machine with some green splatter. That was his gender reveal body. Meanwhile, Kendra's still out front, clicking off fast times. She ran an 11.3 on lap 15. our closest battle on track is going to be between John Bedwell and Bud Ludlam. Now John's up to the 4. They're going to go down to the center section. They've got Thomas in between them. Thomas is your 3rd place car. That's not for position. Thomas has a lap on those guys. Meanwhile, Ben jumps up to the 4th position now. John went down on the straightaway. Thomas goes down for a big tumble right in front of the driver's stand. Watch in front of the driver's stand, outside on the driver's stand. We are clear. Watch the sweeper, inside on the sweeper. That is also clear. Thomas goes down again. That's going to let Ben get closer now. That is now for position. Ben takes over the 3rd spot. Thomas drops down to the 4. Meanwhile, Brad has checked out now from Thomas and Ben. He's got about a lap lead on those two. Bruce goes hard into the wall over there. Meanwhile, that's going to be it, drivers.
Thomas Ball done. Kendra Knowles done.
Kendra, you got caught at the line. It's going to...
Gary Weaver done. John Bedwell done.
Bruce, you're done. John, you're done. Gary, you're done. Thomas, you're done. Ben, you're done. And Brad, you are done. That is everyone. Everyone is done. Yeah. Taking in that 3rd position, you're going to have Ben Ludlam taking that position late in the race. He's going to run a 22.508. Meanwhile, Brad's in that 2nd position. He's going to run a 24.510. And Kendra's taking that key position with a 25.503. Can we get Cherokee to the announcer's stand? Cherokee to the announcer's stand?
Batman. Alex Graham. Ben Cropper. John Bedwell. Quentin Bristol. Tanner Dillon.
All right, drivers, one more lap and then we'll close down the straightaway. Let's close down the straightaway. Your lineup's going to be Alex, Tanner, John, Ben, Bruce, Quentin. Drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone in less than 5. Off to an okay start, Bruce and Quint getting together. Tanner goes for a tumble over, got a collision, watch the straight, watch the line. Yep. Be nice to our marshals, drivers. So far it's Tanner, Quentin, Alex, John, Ben, Bruce. Tanner goes down, that allows Quentin by. Quentin to the 1. There's a close battle between Tanner, John, Alex, and Ben. And Tanner dumps Bruce. Quentin making his way through the field. Quentin and Tanner on the same lap. It's Quentin, Tanner, Ben, John, Alex, Bruce. Quentin and Tanner are on the same lap. Ben, John, and Alex are on the same lap. Tanner goes down, allows Quentin to gain some ground. There's your battle right there. It's Tanner and Quentin going at it. See if Quentin can put Tanner a lap down. Tanner goes down and allows Quentin to go by. That puts Alex and Ben in front of Tanner.
1 minute left.
1 minute left, drivers, 1 minute left. Quentin, Alex, Ben, Tanner, John, Bruce. Tanner and Quentin come flying down the straight. Quentin's gonna get in one more lap.
That man done.
Bruce, you're done. Tanner, you're done.
Alex Grant
Alex,
done.
you're done. John, you're
John
done.
Bedwell done. Ben Cropper done.
Ben and Quentin, you're done.
All drivers are finished. Quentin Bristol done.
We'll start the next round at 7:30. The next round will start at 7:30.
All right, let's go and get our novice heat out on the driver's stand. Let's get our short course heat, that's heat 5, out to Marshall. Short course out to Marshall.
Jeff Trop Gruben. Jason Plev. Junebug. Lawson Unruh.
Alrighty. Can we get our short course heat out to Marshall? That's going to be Alex G, which I saw out here already. That's going to be Bruce, which just walked out. We'll need John Bedwell, Quinton, and Ben Cropper. I know Ben's working on the car, so if we can get Quinton out here, we should be good with 4. Quinton, can we get you under the driver's stand? And then John, do you mind standing over here? Quinton, can we get you by the driver's stand? Please and thank you. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get those lined up. We're going to have Jason on the 1, Junebug on the 2, Jeff on the 3, and Lawson on the 4. Alrighty, driver's ready, Marshall's ready, on the tone in less than 5. Jason out to the early lead. Junebug goes down. That's going to put her all the way down into the 4th position. She's going to lose a little bit of ground. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead position is piling up in that corner down there. Meanwhile, Lawson's going to go from the 4 to the 1 on the first lap. That's going to put him out front with Jason in the 2, but Jason goes down. That's going to allow Junebug and Jeff by. Junebug now to the 2. Junebug goes down. That's going to put Jeff into 3. Meanwhile, that's going to put Jason into the 2. Meanwhile, he goes down. That's going to put him all the way back to the 4th position. Meanwhile, Lawson is just trying to run away with this one. He just needs to keep it nice and smooth, and he'll be set. Down in front of the line he goes to the center double. We got Jeff in the 2, Junebug in the 3. She goes down. That's going to let Jason catch up. Jason's going to go into the 3 now. June's going to drop to the 4. Lawson's our leader goes down. That's going to allow Jeff to get closer now. Jeff's now within striking distance. Meanwhile, Jason goes down, letting Junebug back by for that 3rd position. Here comes your battle for the lead. Down the straightaway they go. In through the center double, through the center section. Lawson's still out front with Jeff in the 2. Going into that center triple. Jeff gets into the pipe. That's going to let Lawson get a little bit of a lead. He gets that triple in front of Restream on, but he recovers fairly nicely. He just needs to keep it nice and clean and he'll be set. Junebug goes down again. That's going to let Jeff get a bigger lead and let Jason close in, but Jason goes down again. Meanwhile, Jeff is starting to close in a little more to Lawson. That's your battle going in front of the driver's stand. Lawson gets it wrong over the triple, but so does Jeff, but Lawson goes down again on the straightaway. That's going to let Jeff to the lead now. Watch the straightaway, inside on the straightaway, inside on the straightaway. Lawson goes down again. That's going to let Jeff get a little bit bigger lead. That's going to let Junebug by for that 2nd position. He's going to drop down all the way to the 3rd position now. He's got Jason right there. They get tangled. That's your battle for 3rd. Lawson holds on to it, but Jason's still in the 4. That is your leader coming through you guys as well. Jeff navigates it pretty well. He gets past them both. He's going to get out and put a lap on those guys. Meanwhile, Jason gets in front of Lawson because Lawson goes down. Lawson goes down again. It's going to allow Jason to get out a little further, but Ben gives him a nice little Marshall, but he goes down the straightaway. Meanwhile, all this battling is letting Junebug stretch their lead in front of him. Jeff has finally cleared lap traffic. We've got about 2 minutes left, drivers, 2 minutes left. Jeff is on a 25-12 pace. Junebug's on a 19-5-14 pace. Jason's on an 18-5-08 pace. And Lawson's on an 18-5-13 pace. Meanwhile, Junebug is slowly closing in your leader. Your leader goes down. That's going to let Junebug get even closer. That's going to be your battle for your lead. Coming up here soon. That's going to be Jeff down the straightaway across the double. Junebug across the double. Jeff gets it wrong again. Junebug is going to close into that gap a little bit more. Jeff gets it wrong again. He noses into it. Junebug's going to take the lead here late. You guys got about 1 minute left. Jeff goes down, allowing Junebug to get out even further. Junebug's through center doubles. Here comes Jeff across the line. You got Lawson across the line, still running in that 4 position. And Jason's in that 3 position. We got 45 seconds left, 45 seconds left. Junebug's still out front. She's on a 19-5-04 pace now. Down the straightaway she goes across the line through the doubles. She's running that team associated B74.2. Jeff goes down on the driver stand triple. He's now on a 19-5-12 pace. Currently, Jeff still has overall TQ run from round 1. Junebug's about 8 seconds off of that pace, though. It's going to be a close one. She got 3 seconds left.
Jason Flint.
That is the race drivers. Keep going until you hear your name. The only one done currently is Jason. We still have Junebug.
Lawson en route.
Lawson's now done. Jeff's done. Junebug down the straight over here. She's going to come around.
All
She's
drivers
now
are
done.
finished.
That is everyone done. Don't forget to grab those blowers. Don't forget to grab those blowers. On the end of that one, you're going to have Lawson in the 4 position with an 18-5-12. Jason in the 3 with an 18-5 flat. Jeff in the 2 with a 19-5-13. And Junebug in the 1 with a 25-19. However, Jeff's run from round 1 is going to give him the overall TQ for the round going into the main. Go ahead and set your guys' cars down and come back out to Marshall. We've got race 2 now. That's going to be 21-5-2 at Red Buggy. He's going to have Victor, Batman, Alex, John, Ben, Chuck, and Brad in this one.
Brad Kong. Chuck Erickson.
Alrighty, let's hold those cars until they're done with the blowers. Hold those cars until they're done with the blowers, please. Hold those cars until they're done with the blowers.
Batman.
I'm looking at you, Bruce.
John Bedwell. Alex Graham.
Alrighty, go ahead and turn some laps now. Turn some laps.
Ben Ludlam.
We'll do 2 laps and then we'll get the starting grid lined up. Thank you for our marshals being out here nice and quick. Thank you guys, we appreciate it. Jason, you got 3rd, he got 4th. All right, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway. Our lineup's going to be Brad Kong on the 1, Chuck Erickson on the 2, Ben Ludlam on the 3, John Bedwell on the 4, Alex on the 5, Bruce on the 6, and Victor on the 7. John, you're up 1 spot. There you go. Alrighty, driver's ready, marshal's ready, on the turn in less than 5. Alrighty, let's keep this first lap clean, guys. Let's keep this first lap clean. So far, so good. Brad's going to jump out to an early lead. He's got a little bit of a gap there between him and John. Meanwhile, John goes down. That's going to put Chuck Erickson to the 2 now. Brad's going to try and just check out of this one. He's got a pretty decent lead right now. And you got Chuck Erickson in the 2, Bedlam in the 3, John Bedwell in the 4, Alex in the 5, Victor in the 6, and Bruce in the 7. Watch the sweeper, inside on the sweeper, inside on the sweeper. That was your leader now. That's going to put Chuck out to the lead. Chuck right across the line now. He's out front. Then you got Bud Edlund in the 2. Then you got Brad in the 3, Alex in the 4, Victor in the 5, John in the 6, and Bruce in the 7. We're 1 minute in, 4 left to go. Chuck's got a pretty sizable lead on Ben now down the straightaway. Chuck goes. Now Ben down the straightaway coming across the line. Brad goes down in that 3 position. That's going to let Alex get a little bit closer now. John, you got your 3rd position coming up on your tilapia. That's in that orange and white machine there. Meanwhile, Ben goes down. That's going to let Brad back to the 2. Brad goes down. That's going to let Ben get closer. You got Alex right there too. Alex to the 3 for momentarily, but Ben got back around him. Watch the straightaway, outside on the straightaway, outside on the straightaway, outside on the straightaway. We are clear. One down in the center, one down in the center. We're 3 minutes in, 2 minutes in, 3 left to go. We've got Chuck out front, Alex in the 2, Victor in the 3, Brad in the 4, John in the 5, Ben in the 6, and Bruce in the 7. Looks like Ben pulled his car for this one. Your closest battle on track is going to be for that 4 position between John and Brad. John goes down. Brad's going to take over that 4 position now. They're coming right here in front of the driver's stand through the center section now. Meanwhile, Chuck's still out in the lead, running a 24.502 pace. He's got 2 laps on the field now.
2 minutes left.
We got 2 minutes left, drivers. 2 minutes left. Your next battle now is going to be Alex and Victor. That's for your 2 position. That's going over through the center triple down by the straightaway. Victor gets it wrong, gets a little bit of a lucky roll though. That's going to allow Alex to get out front a little further. Down the straightaway, Alex goes. Down the straightaway, Victor goes. That's Chuck going, is making his way through those guys again. Trying to put him 3 laps down now. He's running some pretty fast lap times here for 21.5. He's got an 11.4. He's in that gray and orange and white machine going through that center triple. Just got by Brad there, coming down the straightaway across the line. Still, now he's on a 25.510 pace.
1 minute left.
He's looking to one up his time from round 1 and secure that TQ. Meanwhile, Alex is still holding on to that 2 position, but he's got Victor now hot on his heels again. Alex gets it wrong. Victor gets it wrong. Victor shoots to the inside. He takes that position from Alex. That's your battle for the 2 spot over the triple. Alex gets the triple a little wonky, but he saves it. Coming down the straightaway, across the line. That is your orange and blue Traxxas Bandit with your team associated B7 that's white and red. That's your battle for the 2 coming down the straightaway. They're getting ready to come up on Bruce. Meanwhile, Alex goes down. Watch the sweeper, clear on the sweeper. That's going to let Victor take over that 2 spot. Actually, John Bedwell now goes to the 3. He got it on Alex in that little mishap. So John Bedwell to the 3 now. He's across the line. He's going to have his leader right up on him. Alex is going to get back around John. That's going to be a battle. Let's see who can get to it at the end. John's chasing down Alex for that third position now. Alex chases the triple.
Erickson done.
Comes around. Alex takes
Rathbone
that.
done.
That is it, drivers.
Madman done.
Everyone is done.
Alex
Everyone
Madman
is done.
All drivers
Taking your
finished.
third spot. That's going to be Alex taking the 3 spot with a 22.509. Victor in the 2 with a 22.504, and Chuck's going to take that one with a 25.507. One up in his round, or his time in round 1, taking that overall 2Q for the round. Thanks for grabbing those boys. Drivers, go ahead and put your cars down and come back out to Marshall. Up next, we have 17.5 2-wheel drive buggy. We're going to have Leonard, Ben, Kendra, Quentin, Joe, Steve, and Gary. We're going to see if anyone can beat Steve's time of a 27.503 in that first round. That was a pretty solid run there for Steve.
Gary Weaver.
Go ahead and turn some laps, and then we'll get them lined up.
Kendra Knowles. Ben Cropper.
Alrighty. We got everyone checked in. Let's do one more lap. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway. And get them all lined up. Alex, we got one behind you there, flipped over. Alright, let's close down that straightaway and get them lined up. You're going to have Leonard on the 1, Ben on the 2, Kendra on the 3, Quentin on the 4, Joe on the 5, Steve on the 6, and Gary Weaver rounding out the field on the 7. Hey Chuck, can we get you down over here? Alrighty. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone in less than 5. Let's keep this first lap nice and clean. Leonard goes down early. He's going to drop all the way to the back of the field from the 1 to the 7 on the first lap. That's a tough break. Let's see if we can make his way back through the field, though. Meanwhile, that's going to put Kendra out to the lead early in this one with Quentin right behind her. Joe's going to go into the 3 position with Steve in the 4, Ben in the 5, Gary in the 6. Alrighty. So Kendra's still out front. Down the street where she goes. She's in that pink, blue, and green B7. Meanwhile, Quentin is under pressure from Joe and Steve. That's your battle for the 2nd position over the driver stand triple. Oh, Joe gets it wrong and takes out Quentin. That's going to let Steve get to the 2 position. That's still your battle for the 2 spot. Meanwhile, they're coming up. Steve's coming up on Kendra. She's working her way through lap traffic now. She's got clear track in front of her. Steve's going to try and chase her down, though. Down by the line here they go. Through the center section. Down through the center triple. Steve slowly reeling her in. Down the straightaway through the sweeper. Watch the sweeper go inside on the sweeper. Inside on the sweeper. Steve's there. He's knocking on that back door. Kendra goes a little bit wide. Steve looked to the inside for a second. Doesn't quite make a stick. Down through the center section they go. Into the center triple. Down the straightaway now. They're still going at it. Meanwhile, we got a battle going for the 3 position between, or for the 4 position, sorry, between Joe, Ben, and Leonard now. Leonard gets past Ben for that 5 position. Meanwhile, Steve gets by Kendra. That's going to put Steve with the 1 now. He's going to try and run. He's going across down the straightaway in front of the timing loop now. He was just trying to put out some clean laps. He's in that blue, orange, and white B6.4. Kendra's still holding on to that 2 spot. She's running a 25.5 flat now. Quinton's sticking onto that 3rd spot. He's got Steve coming up to put him a lap down though. Quinton gets it wrong. Steve's going to get by and put him a lap down, but he's still sitting in that 3 spot running a 24.503 pace. You know, Leonard has made his way up to the 4 position now. He's about a lap behind Quinton.
2 minutes left.
Quinton's across the line now. He's got about half a track lead on Leonard. Meanwhile, Steve is still out front, clicking off laps. He's got clear track in front of him. Down across the line he goes through that center section. He's going to have some heavy lap traffic here in a second, though. He's coming up on Joe and Gary. Joe gets into Gary. Steve gets by them fairly quickly. A little bit of trouble over that driver's stand triple, but he got by him fairly quickly. He's going to have open track. Meanwhile, he gets it wrong. Watch the straightaway. Clear down the straightaway. The only car between him and Kendra is no one, so he's got clean track in front of him. Meanwhile, your closest battle still is going to be Joe and Gary. Joe's across the line, Gary across the line. Gary's going to have Leonard coming up on him to put him a lap down. We got 1 minute left, drivers, 1 minute left. Steve's currently on a 26.503 pace, about 1 lap slower than his round 1 TQ time. Doesn't look like anyone's going to take that from him anytime soon. Meanwhile, Kendra's still holding on to that 2 spot, running a 25.501. Quinton's still holding on to that 3 with a 25.510. And Leonard's in that 4 position with a 25.510 now as well. So that's the closest battle on track, it looks like, is Quinton and Leonard. That's coming down the straightaway here. They've got clear track in front of them. They've got 15 seconds there. Let's see if Leonard can get to the back of Quinton and make that pass. They should get 1 more lap. Down the straightaway they go. Quinton gets the triple on, but saves it. Coming down across the line through the center section. That is time, drivers. That is time through the center triple. Let's see if Leonard can get it down the straightaway. Not quite going to make it. Quinton holds on to that 3rd position. Once you hear your name, you are done, drivers. Once you hear your name, you are done.
Peter done.
That will be everyone. That is everyone.
Ben Crawford done.
Taking the 3rd position is going to be Quinton with a 25.505 pace. Kendra is going to take that 2 spot with a 25.505 flat. And Steve's going to take the overall TQ with a 26.503, but his TQ time's a 27.503. About his round 2 time's about 1 lap slower than round 1. Yeah, we can do that. Alrighty, we're going to have 17.5 four-wheel drive buggy up next. Brad, better get out there. Thank you for blowing off there. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up? What are you doing here? Hey, I've got tires for Sam. I've got tires and wheels for Sam. I've got to grab them. Alrighty. 17.5 four-wheel buggy, you're up. Go ahead and take some laps now. Take some laps.
Ball.
It's going to be Brad Kong, John Dunbar, Ben Ludlam, Gary Weaver,
Batman.
Bruce Swain, a.k.a. Batman, Thomas Ball, and Kendra Knowles.
Kendra Knowles. Gary Weaver. Brad Kong.
Right. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway and get them lined up. Now let's close down that straightaway and get them lined up. Ben has taken off for this evening, so it's going to put Brad Kong on the 1, John Bedwell on the 2, Gary Weaver now on the 3, Bruce Swain on the 4, Thomas Ball on the 5, and Kendra Knowles on the 6. Alrighty, we've got drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone in less than 5. John takes the early pass on Brad there. Brad went a little bit wide. That allowed John to get in. John's going to jump out to the early lead down the straightaway. Alrighty, we're about 30 seconds into this one. You've got John still out in the lead. We've got Kendra in the 2 position. Steve, you think you can grab the white car and fix the ring there? There we go. We're all set there. Alright, back to what I was saying. We've got John in the 1 still, Kendra in the 2, Thomas in the 3, Gary in the 4, Brad in the 5, and Bruce in the 6. John's down the straightaway here. Kendra's slowly closing in. She's on the back door now. That's your battle for the top spot. Coming through the center triple now. John over, Kendra over. Down the straightaway they go. They're coming up on Brad here. Those are your leaders coming up on you, Brad. Leaders coming up on you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bruce. We're also moving out of there. John goes down. That's going to let Kendra get a lead now. Kendra to the 1, John to the 2. Down to the center section they go. Kendra over that center triple. She's going to stretch her lead just a little bit on this lap. John gets a little bit long. We got Gary into the 3 now. He's down the straightaway and across the line. Thomas is in the 4. He's going over the center triple. Just went a lap down to Kendra. Meanwhile, John goes down. That's going to allow Gary to the 2 now. Gary down the straightaway, now in that 2 position. He gets it wrong through the sweeper. That's going to let John back by. John back to the 2. That's your battle for the 2 spot. Going through the center triple. Down in front of the driver's stand. John gets a little long. So does Gary. Coming down across the line. You guys are going to have your leader coming up on you here in a second. That's going to be Kendra in that pink, green, and blue TOR coming down the straightaway. Meanwhile, Gary is closed into John once again. John gets it wrong, goes down. Gary to the 2. That's going to put Gary to the 2. Brad still hanging on. He just dropped down to the 5 now. Thomas to the 4. That's your battle for the 4 position. Brad gets it wrong. That's going to allow Thomas to get back out in front. Meanwhile, Kendra's caught Gary. That's going to put a lap on the field if she can get by. Gary, that is your leader coming up behind you.
2 minutes left.
Behind you there, Brooklyn. Alrighty. Still got Kendra out front with 1:45 left to go. She's on a 25.511 pace. Not quite fast enough to catch her first round pace. She's still a little bit off. We got 1:20 left, drivers. 1:20 left. Kendra's still out front with Gary in the 2. Kendra's got open track in front of her. Meanwhile, Gary is holding on to that 2 position with John right behind him. He's about a straightaway-ish behind. Gary goes down. That's going to let John get closer now. John takes over that 2 spot. Coming down the straightaway now. That's your position for your battle for the 2 spot. That's John and Gary. Meanwhile, Kendra's right there trying to navigate traffic. John down the straightaway, Gary down the straightaway. You got 40 seconds left. Gary's going to try and put a move on John here. Gary's looking to the inside. Had the inside, but overshoots the jump there. Goes to the center, has to fall back down. Meanwhile, John's trying to stretch out his lead some more in front of Gary. Gary's got 25 seconds left to get to John and get around him. Down in front of the driver's stand. Gary gets it wrong. That's going to let John get further out in front. Kendra's being nice and letting him battle. We got 15 seconds left, 15 seconds left. Meanwhile, Gary has caught John once again over that center triple down in front of the driver's stand. You guys are going to get one more lap. Let's see if Gary can put that move on him. Gary gets it wrong and goes down. John just needs to keep it smooth, and he's got that second position. Meanwhile, Brad, you are done.
Thomas Ball.
Thomas, you are done.
John Bedwell.
John is done. Kendra's done. Waiting on one more, waiting for Gary here. Come down the straightaway, and Gary, you are now done as well. Pretty solid battle there between Gary and John at the end of this one, but it's going to be Gary taking that 3 spot with a 23.516, John in the 2 with a 23.509, and Kendra taking the T2 running a 25.510, but her round 1 time was a little bit faster with a 25.503.
Alex Graham. Ben Cropper. Batman. Tanner Dillon. John Bedwell. Quentin Bristol.
I need a Marshall over by me as well. All right, drivers, let's close down the straightaway. Quentin, Bruce, Ben, John, Tanner, Alex. Thank you. Drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone in less than 5. Across the line for the first time, it's going to be Quentin, Tanner, John, Alex, Ben, Bruce. Quentin goes down on the front. That allows John and Tanner to get by. John goes down. That allows Tanner and Quentin back by. A minute in. Quentin, Tanner, Ben, Alex, John, Bruce. Quentin's running a 21.509. Tanner falls all the way back to 5th. Quentin makes a tumble on the front chutes, gather it up and goes. Your battle right here is for second between Ben and Alex. That battle between Ben and John is going to be your closest right there. Ben, John, Tanner, and Alex all on the same lap. Minutes in, drivers. 2 left to go. Quentin, left. Ben, Tanner, John, Alex, Bruce. Quentin's got a whole lap on the field. He's running a 22.511.
One minute left.
1 minute left, drivers. 1 minute left. Quentin, Ben, John, Tanner, Alex, Bruce. Tanner, you should just stop. That's awful. It sounds like a dead mouse trying to escape. Like a mouse that's trapped. "15 seconds, drivers."
Ben Cropper done.
Finish those laps. Ben, you're done.
Alex Graham done.
Alex, you're done. John and Quentin, you'll be done.
Quinton Bristol done. John Bedwell done. All drivers are finished. Batman done.
Tanner, 10 minutes. We'll take a 15-minute break. That'll put us back on racing at 8:25. Kendra, can you come help, please? A-main lineups are up. A-main lineups are up.
righty, let's go and get these mains started. We're going to have novice out first. We got Jeff taking the overall TQ. He's going to start out front. Then we'll have Junebug, Jason Platt, and Lawson. Let's get our marshals from short course out here to marshal. We got Bruce out here. We're looking for Alex, John, Ben, and Quentin. Bruce, you better finish that slice before you start marshaling. I want to see you stuff the whole thing in your mouth right now. That's not the whole thing.
Jeff dropped Ruben.
Careful, we got a Quentin standing on the straightaway. Inside on the straight, inside on the straight.
Junebug. Jason Platt. Lawson Unruh.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get these guys lined up. It's going to be Jeff Troffgruben on the 1, Junebug on the 2, Jason Platt on the 3, and Lawson Unruh on the 4. Alrighty, we've got marshals ready, we've got drivers ready on the tone in less than 5. Let's keep this first lap nice and clean. So far, so good. Right now, we've got Jeff out to the lead. We've got Junebug in follow. Those are top 2. They kind of have a little bit of a breakaway from Jason and Lawson. Meanwhile, Jeff goes ground. That's going to allow Junebug out to the lead now. Over that center triple in front of the driver's turn they go. Jeff jumps into the bend. Does a nice little parallel, but keeps it going. Junebug to the 1. She's going to try and stretch out her lead from Jeff. She just needs to keep it nice and smooth and stay calm, and she'll be good. Meanwhile, Jeff is trying to reel her in. Lawson goes for a nice little tumble. That's going to let Jason back by. Jason goes for a tumble. That's going to let Lawson back by. Lawson to the 3 now. Jason's going to have the leader up on her. He goes down. That's going to let Junebug by with no problems. Meanwhile, Jeff goes down on the straightaway. That's going to let Lawson close in to Jeff. Jeff goes down again. Lawson's going to close in even closer. He's going to ram into him. They all get together. Jeff's going to take that 2 spot back. Meanwhile, Junebug got by him to put a lap on the field. Meanwhile, Lawson and Jeff get back together. That's going to let Jason come back by. That's going to be a battle for second with 3 drivers now. Lawson gets into the wall down there. Jeff's going to go to the 2. Jason goes to the 3. Lawson drops all the way down to 4, but that battle is not over yet. Jeff goes down. That's going to let Jason to the 2 now. Jeff drops down to the 3. Lawson's in the 4. Meanwhile, Junebug's just cruising. She's got a lap on the field, getting ready to come up on the back of the field here again. Meanwhile, Jeff goes down. Lawson goes down. Jeff also goes down again. Lawson to the 3 now. Jeff to the 4. Jason's trying to run away. That battle's still not done for that second position. Meanwhile, Jeff looks to the inside of Lawson, doesn't quite make a stick. Down the straightaway they go. Down across the line, Jeff goes to the inside of Lawson as he went a little bit wide there. Now Jeff's going to set his sights on Jason. Jeff goes down. Lawson goes down. Jason goes down. Hard hit on the sweeper. Watch the sweeper. Watch the sweeper. That's going to put Jeff to the 2 now. Make that, Lawson, make that. No one. Jason's going to jump back to the 2 now. They're just going at it. Meanwhile, Junebug's sitting back there trying to make a way through to put him a second lap down now. Jason holds on to that 2. Meanwhile, Lawson jumps to the inside of Jeff. That was a nice pass there by Lawson. Jeff goes down. Jason jumps over. Lawson goes down. No one wants that 2 spot right now. Down the straightaway they go. Lawson goes down in the sweeper. Lands on his all fours, but Jeff goes into the 2 position, but gets stuck on the pipe, and now he's back to the 4. Jason's just holding on to that 2 position now, letting them all crash behind him. Lawson goes down again on the straightaway. Jason's going to extend his lead even more. Meanwhile, Jeff goes down in the 4. Lawson also goes down in the 3. Jason's extending his lead even more. He's just trying to keep it smooth out there and hold on to that 2nd position. Meanwhile, Junebug is coming around. She's going to come up here on Jason here in a second to try and put all of them another lap down. Junebug goes ahead and puts Jason down. Meanwhile, Lawson has now caught up to Jason and takes over that 2nd spot now. Lawson to the 3. He goes down. Jason's going to take that 2 spot back. Across the line goes Jason. Across the line goes Lawson. Lawson goes for a little bit of a tumble across the line. Meanwhile, Jeff's still running around by the driver's stand. He goes down a little bit. Junebug puts him another lap down. Meanwhile, Lawson is trying to chase down Jason now. Lawson gets stuck again. That's going to give Jason about half a track lead now. Jason gets it wrong. Gets it back together though. Lawson goes down again. That's going to allow Jeff to get even closer. That's going to be a battle for the 3 spot now. You guys have 5 seconds to make it. I don't know if they're going to make the line. Jeff gets caught at the line. So does Jason. Junebug and Lawson, you are still live. Oh, Jason, you're still live as well. Sorry.
Junebug done.
Junebug is done.
Lawson unroute done.
Lawson's done, just waiting on Jason now. Coming down the straightaway he goes. He's going to secure that 2nd spot, and he is now done.
Finished.
So your 3rd position is going to go to Lawson with an 18.513. Jason's going to take that 2 position with a 19.522. And Junebug's going to take that overall win with the 21.510. Don't forget to grab those blows. Don't forget to grab those blows. Drivers, go ahead and put your cars back down and make your way out to Marshall, please. Also, please hold your cars until the blowers are done. Please hold your cars until the blowers are done. Up next, we've got 21.5 two-wheel drive buggy. We're going to have Chuck Erickson taking the overall TQ. He's going to be on the 1. Victor Wu taking that 2nd position with John Bedwell in the 3. Next, you got Alex Graham in the 4 with Brad Kong in the 5. Bruce Swain, a.k.a. Batman, in the 6. Some may know him as Ho-Ho. And then Ben Ludlam, which is retired for the night, is in the 7. Alrighty, go ahead and turn some laps. Turn some practice laps now. Blowers are done, so go ahead and turn some laps. We're going to do about 2-ish laps, and then we'll get the grid started.
Chuck Erickson. Alex Graham. Batman.
Alrighty. Everyone get in one more lap here, one more lap. Alright, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway. Let's get them lined up. We're going to have Chuck Erickson on the 1, Victor Wu on the 2, John Bedwell on the 3, Alex Graham on the 4, Brad Kong on the 5, and Bruce Swain on the 6. Alrighty. We've got marshals ready, drivers ready, on the tone in less than 5. Let's keep this first lap nice and clean. We've got Chuck Erickson out there with first lead. Brad gets caught up on the pipe there. Alex is going to wait for him. That's very nice of you. Alrighty. First lap in, we got Chuck Erickson still out front with Victor in the 2. John Bedwell still in the 3. Erickson stretching his lead on Victor now across the line. Victor across the line. John across the line. They've got a pretty good gap. Oh no, it looks like Ben or John might be broke. Looks like he might have got a loose slipper or a bad diff or something going on that car. He's going to have to drop out of it. So that's going to move Brad to the 3 now. Brad's about to have Chuck Erickson coming up behind him to put him a lap down here in a little bit. Chuck Erickson is that orange, yellow, white, and gray car with the yellow wheels coming down the straightaway here across the line. You know, you got Victor in the 2. He's in that Traxxas. He went down. Brad's going to catch him now. Brad looks to the inside. Corner, make a mistake. Victor gets it wrong. Brad to the 2 now. He's going to have Chuck on him. He lets Chuck by, but then Victor goes right back by Brad as he made a little bit of a mistake. That's going to be a battle for the 2 spot. Meanwhile, Chuck has a lap on the field now. But here's your battle for the 2 down the straightaway. That's Victor and Brad. That's your blue and orange and your orange and white cars going through the center section. They're going to be coming up here on Bruce here in a second. Brad is all over Victor. He's trying to look for a way around. Victor gets it wrong. Brad to the 2 now. Victor falls to the 3. That's a pretty solid battle there for that 2 spot. Meanwhile, you still have Alex in the 4, Bruce in the 5, and unfortunately, John is out of this one. Eric's out there, or Chuck Erickson's just out there clicking off laps, and we're 2 minutes in, 3 minutes left to go. He's on a 26.505 now. That's a faster pace than his TQ time. Meanwhile, we got everyone yard selling it down here by the announcer's booth. That's your leader right there trying to get through, guys. He's in that gray and orange car. But meanwhile, you got your battle for the 2 spots shaping up again. That's Victor to the 2 and John or Brad into the 3. You guys are going to have your leaders up behind you. Down the straightaway, Victor goes. Brad right behind him. Brad's looking for every possible way around him right now. He's making that Traxxas banded as wide as he can be. Brad makes the inside, can't make a stick. He bounces off the pipe. That's going to let Chuck Erickson by. That's going to give him some breathing room. Victor just needs to hold it together. Looks like that Traxxas might be getting a little bit harder to drive with the grip right now. He's going to go to make a mistake. That's going to put Brad back to the 2 and Victor back to the 3. Chuck still hasn't been able to make their way around both of these guys. Watch the center triple, watch the center triple. You got one down at the lander. Victor goes down. That's going to let Brad get out even further. Meanwhile, they're coming up on Alex. Thank you, Alex. Alex is sitting in the 5 spot now. You've got Bruce into the 4. Bruce has made it up to the 4 now. Him and Alex are going at it. Bruce looks like he's got about 2 laps up on Alex. Meanwhile, Brad's still holding on to that 2 spot. Chuck Erickson has made it around both Brad and Victor now, but he's about to catch Victor once again. We got 1 minute left, drivers, 1 minute left. Chuck has dropped down to a 24.502 pace. Meanwhile, Brad's on a 22.502 and Victor's on a 22.507. Brad's clicking off some clean laps now. He's down to an 11.6 fast time on lap 13. Meanwhile, Chuck Erickson has an 11.2 for his fast time. Victor's pushing that Traxxas into a 12.4. We've got 30 seconds left, drivers. 30 seconds left. Still have Chuck, Brad, Victor, Bruce, and Alex. Chuck has 2 laps on the field now. He's got back down into a 25.511 pace now with the open track he's had. Let's see if he can get down to 25.507 to beat his TQ time. He's ticking off. This could be the last lap, drivers, last lap.
Victor Wu done.
Victor, you're done.
Alex Graham.
Alex, you're done. Brad, you're done.
Brad Kong
Chuck,
done.
you're done.
Chuck
And
Erickson
Bruce, you're done.
done.
That is everyone done. Good
All
job,
drivers
guys.
are finished. Batman done.
So in the end, it's going to be Victor in the 3 going to 22.503. Brad in the 2 going to 23.509. And Chuck taking the win with the 25.510. Not quite as fast as his TQ time, but it was close. Don't forget to grab those blowers. Thank you guys for grabbing those blowers. Up next, we're going to have the 17.5 two-wheel drive buggy A main. 21.5s, guys, don't forget to put down your cars and come back out to Marshall, please. John, what did you end up breaking? What did you break?
Quentin Bristol. Leonard Munoz.
All right, go ahead and turn some laps now. Go ahead and turn some laps.
Ben Cropper. Joe St. Peter. Kendra Knowles.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and close down that straightaway and get you guys lined up now. We're going to have Steve Foley on the 1, Kendra Knowles on the 2, Leonard Munoz on the 3, Quentin Bristol on the 4, Gary Weaver on the 5, Joe St. Peter on the 6, and Ben Cropper on the 7. Alrighty, we've got marshals, the drivers ready, on the turn in less than 5. Let's keep this first lap nice and clean. Leonard gives a little bit of bobble there. He holds on to that 3 position, but that's gonna let Steve and Kendra out to an early lead. Leonard gets it wrong again. That's going to drop him down to the 5 position. Going to put Quentin and Joe in front of him. Meanwhile, Ben and Gary are going at it in the back. Just beating on each other. Watch the sweeper. We are clear on the sweeper. Meanwhile, Steve and Kendra are still battling out front. They're coming up on lap traffic already. Thank you, Ben, for letting them go by. Gary, the leader in second place are coming up on you here quick. Oh. Steve and Gary get together. That's going to let Kendra to the lead. Steve looks back to the inside. Kendra goes down. That's going to let Steve back to the lead. Kendra gets it run again. That's going to let Leonard get even closer. That's going to be a battle for second now. Meanwhile, Steve is stretching his gap. He's got a 10.9 with a fast lap right now. We're about 1 minute in, 1 minute in. Meanwhile, Quentin is still in the 4. Joe's in the 5. Gary in the 6, and Ben in the 7. Your closest battle on track is going to be Leonard and Kendra. That's for your second position, coming right here through the center section, down the drop down, coming around to the center triple. They're coming up on you, Gary. Leonard goes to the inside and takes the second position from Kendra now. Leonard to the 2, Kendra to the 3. Through the center triple they go. They're going to have clear track in front of them. Leonard goes down. That's going to let Kendra back to the 2. Meanwhile, Steve is just clicking off laps again. He's got a pretty decent lead now. He's on a 27.509 pace with about 3 minutes left. Quentin, your leader is coming up on you in that blue and orange car. Thank you, sir. We got one down here in the center. We got one down here in the center. That was Joe. I believe that's going to let, not quite, it's not going to let Gary by yet. Oh, it does let Gary by. Gary to the 5 now. Ben to the 6. Joe all the way down to the 7. Joe having a little bit of a rough last half of the race here. Meanwhile, Steve's still out front. Kendra in the 2, Leonard in the 3. Leonard's trying to rear in Kendra. Here comes Leonard down the straightaway.
2 minutes left.
He's about 2 seconds back from Kendra. He's closing that gap though. He's getting a little bit closer each lap. That's going to be a good battle shaping up here for the end of it. We got a minute 45 seconds left. Drivers, minute 45 seconds left. Meanwhile, Steve has checked out. He's got almost a lap on the field. The only ones still left on the lead lap are going to be Kendra and Leonard. We got one down the straight, inside on the straight, inside on the straight. We are clear. Meanwhile, Kendra and Leonard are slowly starting to catch Steve Foley. Foley looks like he had a couple bad laps there. Steve gets tangled up on the sweeper. Meanwhile, Kendra and Leonard get tangled up down the straightaway. That's going to put Leonard to the 2 now. They're not too far from Foley now. We've got a minute left to catch them. Steve's got open track though. Leonard's got some lappers to get through. We got one down on the straight, inside on the straight. Clear. We got 45 seconds left. Steve's out front still on a 26.5 flat. He's about a lap behind his TQ time. Leonard's in the 2, Kendra in the 3, Quentin in the 4, Gary in the 5, Ben in the 6, and it looks like Joe has pulled it for this one. Here comes Steve through the double section here in front of the announcer booth, down to the center section. He's up on Ben. Ben gets in the pipe. He rolls it over. We got 10 seconds left, 10 seconds left. Steve should make it out for one more lap to get to 27. He's got to keep it clean. I don't know if he's going to make it now. He made a little bit of bobble. But he does. He makes it for that extra lap. When you cross the line, you will be done. Leonard goes down and gets stuck on the straightaway. That's going to let Kendra to the 2 on the last lap. That's going to put Leonard into the 3. Quentin's 4, Gary to the 5, and Ben into the 6. That is everyone done. So at the end of it, it's going to put Leonard to the 3 with a late race mistake. Coming to the line at the end of it, that's going to put him at a 26.508. Kendra to the 2 with the 26.506. And Steve Foley with the 26.5 flat. Don't forget to grab those blowers. Don't forget to grab those blowers. Drivers, go ahead and put your cars down and make your way out, back out to Marshall, please. Drivers, put your cars down and make your way out to Marshall, please. Up next, we're going to have 17.5 four-wheel drive buggy. Amen. We're going to have Kendra Knowles taking the overall TQ, starting on the front, out front in this one. And we're going to have Brad Kong in the 2, John Bedwell in the 3, Gary Weaver in the 4, Bev Ludlam in the 5. Unfortunately, he's retired for the night, so that's going to put Thomas Ball in the 5 and Bruce Swain in the 6.
Gary Weaver. John Bedwell. Kendra
Go ahead and run some laps now, run some laps, and then we'll get them lined up.
Batman.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and get everyone lined up, close down that straightaway. Let's get everyone lined up. We're going to have Kendra Knowles taking the TQ starting on the 1 position. Then you're going to have Brad Kahn in that gender reveal car going into that 2 position, overshooting his starting spot. I saw that. We're going to have John Bedwell in the 3, Gary Weaver in the 4, Thomas in the 5, and Bruce in the 6. Alrighty, we've got marshals, drivers ready on the turn in less than 5. And well, let's keep this first lap nice and clean. Brad drops down to the 3. Make that to the 6th position because him and John get together. That's going to put Gary to the 2 early off in this one. Thomas into the 3. Bruce into the 4 now. Brad to the 5 and John to the 6. Meanwhile, Kendra's just trying to stretch her lead off early. Trying to put a gap there on Gary Weaver. White Lightning into the 2. Down the straightaway he goes. Across the line through the double section. Thomas Ball to the 3. Bruce and John get together on the straightaway. That's going to drop Bruce all the way down to the 6, unfortunately. John to the 4 or 5 and Brad to the 4. Make that Brad to the 3. Thomas went down, put Thomas in the 4. Meanwhile, Kendra's checking out. Watch the driver stand triple. We are clear. Kendra's checking out. She's coming up on Thomas now to put Thomas lap down. And she does. She's going to put Brad in her sights next. Brad's got a little bit of trouble over that center triple. That's going to put Kendra right behind him. He's right there on Gary for that 2nd position, though. That's your battle for the 2. Gary goes down, Brad to the 2. Gary goes down again, but Brad gets a little squirrely. Coming down the straightaway they go. Meanwhile, Kendra goes down. Gary goes wide, Brad to the 2. Gary, that was wild. I can't even talk how fast. How many times you guys switch positions. But if you can put Brad into the 2 now, Gary to the 3. Brad rolls it. That's going to let Gary back to get closer. Meanwhile, Kendra's trying to catch back up to him and put him a lap down. If she does, it's going to put the whole field a lap down. Brad goes down. That's going to let Gary into the 2. And that's going to put Brad a lap down as well. Gary back to the Brad to the 3. John to the 4. Thomas is in the 5. And Bruce is in the 6. Watch the sweeper. Inside on the sweeper. That is clear. Meanwhile, Brad back to the 2. Gary right there behind him, though. Brad makes a little wobble. Gary gets in the back of him and tumbles down the straightaway. John Bedwell is right there now, too. That's a 3-car battle for the 2 position. But Brad goes down. That's going to let Gary back to the 2 and John to the 3. John gets a little wrong going over the center triple. That's going to let Gary stretch out his lead even more, but Gary gets it wrong off the roller. That's going to let John and Brad get closer again. Going through the center section goes John and Brad. That's for your 3 position. Down the straightaway they go. They're trying to catch Gary there in the 2. Meanwhile, Kendra's still out front, clicking off laps. She's got 1.5 laps on the field now. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Watch the straightaway. Inside on the straightaway. That is clear. Meanwhile, it looks like Brad back to the 2, Gary to the 3, John still hanging out in the 4. He's trying to find a way around Gary. They've got Kendra right there, the leader, coming up to put him a 2nd lap down. John gets it wrong. He goes a 2nd lap down now. Meanwhile, Brad just needs to keep it clean. He's got 1 minute and 15 seconds left to just hold on to that 2nd position. Gary goes down in the center. That's going to let John to the 3. John down the straightaway here. Gary goes down again, letting John stretch out his gap even further. Meanwhile, that's going to put Brad coming up on Gary to put Gary a lap down now. Brad is kind of checked out of this battle now. He's looking very confident in that 2 spot now. He's looking pretty nice and smooth in that gender reveal car. Meanwhile, Kendra's still out front, running 25.508 pace. She's still about 5 seconds off of her TQ time. Bradson in the 2, John in the 3. Gary, make that Thomas in the 4 now. Gary in the 5, switch that back. Gary to the 4, Thomas to the 5. Thomas went down for a quick moment. That'll Gary back by. Gary, you got your leader coming up on you. You've got 15 seconds left, drivers, 15 seconds left. Looks like Kendra should make it out for one more lap. Same with Thomas and same with Gary. Looks like John's going to get caught though. John, you're done. Brad, you're done. Brad coming in hot.
John Bedwell done.
Kendra, you're done.
Kendra and all's done.
Bruce, you're done. Gary, you're done. We're just waiting on Thomas. Down the straightaway, Thomas goes for a little bit of tumble.
All drivers are finished.
Going for the Marshall
Thomas
Street, making
done.
Quentin dance. And Thomas is now done. Everyone is done. That's going to be John Bedwell taking the 3 with the 22.501. Brad in the 2 with the 23.502. And Kendra with the 25.507. Don't forget to grab those blowers. Drivers, go put your cars down. Come back out to Marshall, please.
Transponder 3603965. Transponder 7125923. Ben Cropper. John Bedwell. Alex Graham. Batman. Tanner Dillon. Quentin Bristol.
All right, drivers, let's close down the straightaway. Your lineup's going to be Quentin, Ben, Alex, John, Tanner, Bruce. Are we racing or wrecking? Quentin, Ben, Alex, John, Tanner, Bruce. Drivers ready? Marshals ready? On the tone in less than 5. John was collateral damage on that one. Quentin and Ben battling for the lead. Minute in, Alex, Ben, Quentin, Tanner, John, Bruce. Alex has got enough lead. Your battle right now is between Ben and Quentin. Ben goes for a little bit of a tumble, gathers it up, and follows behind Quentin. Quentin gaining some ground. Alex goes for a little bit of a tumble. That lets Quentin by. Alex, Quentin, Ben, and Tanner are all on the same lap. Quentin goes down on the front straightaway. Alex trying to gain some ground on him. Quentin, Alex, Ben, and Tanner are all on the same lap.
Two minutes left.
Tanner gets around Ben for that 3 spot. And then tumbles. Ben grabs him. Your leader's behind you. 1 minute left,
minute
drivers. 1 minute left. Tanner, I don't know what the heck that was, but it was an epic fail. Tanner, I think you broke a shock.
Ben Cropper done. John Bedwell done.
Ben, John,
Alex Graham done.
Alex,
Quentin Bristol done.
Quentin, you're done.
All drivers are
Tanner's, you're done.
Tanner Dillon done.